Hello, everybody. How are you faring today? Thank you for tuning in again. And to all my many subscribers, thank you for the support. Thank you for helping the channel to grow. And if you're just encountering this channel for the first time, remember to like, comment, share, and do please subscribe. We strive to bring you quality content. Well, it has come out that Tiwa Savage, one of the biggest female artists we have in Nigeria in the music industry, is facing a potential sex scandal. Apparently, somebody has gotten a hold of her sex tape and, is essentially blackmailing her with the content. The best thing to do is to not have the content to begin with. Because even when you trust your partner so much, this person loves you, they would never do something like that, and so on and so forth. It is digital content. It could fall into the hands of a third party. And that third party owes you nothing. They can do with it whatever they like. In this case, this particular person is asking for, is trying to most likely squeeze money out of her. If you don't do this, I'll shame you, and so on and so forth. The good thing is we're at that place in society now where that kind of rascality is not being condoned. This person could get sued, and I do hope the person gets sued. If the person, for even making these threats at all, I think, I'm not a lawyer, but I think there's something that can be done about the fact that this person is making these threats and trying to blackmail her. I think something can be done about that. But in the event that maybe there's nothing that can be done because the person has not done anything yet, in the event that this person does go ahead to share the video, spread it online, and so on and so forth, well, if he or she is listening, this person needs to understand that they can be sued, it is a criminal offense, and you could be sent to jail. So you really need to consider this. It is not a profession or a career option. Yeah, because I know there are people whose natural inclination as human beings is to lean into the dark side. If there's a good way of making money and they're competent to do it, and there's a bad way of making money and they're equally competent to do it, it is the bad way that they'll follow. Some people are naturally, they're just naturally that way. That is how they're configured. That's how their hard drive is set. So for the avoidance of doubt, and for the benefit of the one or two people who might hear this and be thinking, oh Lord, what a brilliant idea. It's something I could do to another person. Don't do it. First of all, I understand that she has said that she will not make herself a victim. This essentially means that she has no intention of paying up. And I think that is wise because be it kidnappers, extortionists, blackmailers, whoever it is, once they get the vibe that you're willing to pay, you become their go-to person every time they're broke. And that is why with kidnappings in Nigeria, most of the time, the family, when it's a wise family, they are reluctant. They don't mention to anybody that they paid a ransom because they know that makes them a target. Or even if it doesn't make them a target, it makes the kidnappers feel that, okay, this is lucrative and we need to do it to other people. And that's why many people choose not to talk about these things. So I understand where Tiwa is coming from when she says that she has no intention of paying. And I think that's a beautiful idea. Tiwa's own has already happened. So I don't want to be put in a position where people will say I'm victim shaming, and then the next thing you'll hear is, yeah, women don't love each other, women hate each other, blah blah blah. So I'm just going to use Tiwa's situation as an instructional piece for people who are not yet there. If you're not yet in that position, in fact, even before Tiwa Savage's own, a couple of weeks ago, it was Tonto Dike saying that her ex-boyfriend or fiance or whatever it is, Prince Popogri, that he was threatening to leak her nudes. So this is the second such incident affecting a high-profile woman. within a span of less than 1 month. Mm? So it is not uncommon. These are things that happen. Why people are not learning, I will not know. But then again, it is in our nature as human beings to keep repeating the same mistakes. But if you are a young lady who is interested in just, having a drama-free life, and that is something you need to be invested in and interested in, for the simple fact that life on its own on a good day is pretty complex and can be quite challenging and difficult. So whatever other small giddy giddy bang bang that you can avoid, try and avoid it. The ones that are within your power to avoid. So personally, I don't have any sex tapes. I've never been that adventurous. Maybe I'm just a very boring person. I don't have any nudes anywhere, not even the private ones on your phone that you can do and quickly. I don't think my body is that great. I don't look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, yay, the next Kim Kardashian. No. So I don't even know why I would want to keep my nudes or do a sex tape. But that's me. Okay, so I don't understand why other people do it. They probably have their reasons. But I would say that just to avoid stories that touch, if you feel the need to film yourself in the moment, maybe you can do that. Watch it, enjoy yourselves. Maybe subsequently in the next 5 or 10 minutes, watch it and delete. Or better still, if you feel that your bedroom skills are so marvelous that you need to admire yourself while you are in the act, or your body is so beautiful, the figure 8 thing that some of us are not blessed with, and you really feel that you need to admire that and things like this, or you're just not willing to waste your data watching other people on different porn sites. Well, why not just install a really big mirror in your room? It serves the same purpose and records nothing. It's just a suggestion, for people who are, should I say, voyeurs? Because, like I said, I'm not so inclined. Therefore, I'm struggling to understand how. Maybe somebody sneaks into my bathroom and puts a hidden camera somewhere, or I happen to leave my laptop open and somebody activates the camera remotely. Those are the only circumstances I can think of right now where my nudes or any sex any concerning me would pop up anywhere on the face of this planet. Somebody would have had to obtain that footage at a time when I was unconscious, asleep, passed out, dead. It's not the kind of trauma I'm willing to subject myself to. I know I come off as a very hard person, but I reserve the hardness to deal with life's proper challenges, not these kinds of things. Yeah, avoidable things. So when I have seen so many other people fall into the trap, then I will now carry my 2 legs and go and fall inside. Those ones, with the help of God's grace, I do everything in my power to avoid avoidable mistakes. And I'm saying that for young girls, if you're over the age of 30, it's not you I'm talking to. You have a right to do whatever you like. You can even stroll naked on the road. My thinking is you are immature enough of an adult to know right from wrong, and you have chosen to do what you are doing because you want to do it. I'm talking to young girls who are still naive and will just copy blindly and not think of consequences. Those are the people I'm talking to. So if you are between the ages of 18 and 30, and that is usually when you are in top form, even physically, your looks, every, that is when you are really at your peak. If you must snap any nudes, snap, look at it for your own pleasure, delete. If on the other hand you don't mind and you want to be the next Kim Kardashian, because after all her sex tape went out, and it was even that one that attracted what's his name now, Kanye West, into her life. Be my guest, too. It's not you I'm talking to either. I'm talking to the person that will just randomly copy and do this thing because without thinking it through, because somebody, a boyfriend or a fiance, asked for it. It's even better if it's your husband, Seth. At least if your husband leaks that kind of footage, everybody will say the guy is a clown. Because that's supposed to be. In fact, I think the only context within which this might be acceptable is in marriage. Because at that point, the thinking is you are one flesh, essentially. You're supposed to have each other's backs. So there's a certain level of vulnerability that you should allow to come between you. And if that kind of thing gives you that enjoyment, then okay, fine. Especially if you know that you married somebody who has a conscience and is ordinarily a decent sort. Because marriages also collapse. So if it turns out that you're married to somebody who is ordinarily vindictive and cruel, the day your marriage is not working anymore, the person can still choose to spread that kind of thing around. Which is why I'm saying that I'm happy that there are laws against it now. So people that want to do things like that, they might, at least be afraid of being subjected to some punitive measure by the law courts or by the justice system. And remember, in almost every instance of sex tape being leaked, nudes being leaked, and things like this, whether here or whether yonder, it's usually, if it's a sex tape, it's usually a man and a woman involved. There's hardly ever any backlash for the man. If you're a girl, you have more to lose. I'm not the one making up these rules. That's just how the world is currently colored. Things might be different tomorrow, but I'm saying that as at today, if you sit down and think about it, every sex tape that has ever been an issue, it was the woman's name that came out. Where the man's name came out within a few hours, within a few minutes, it disappeared. But when it's the woman, it trails you around. And particularly in a place as conservative as Nigeria, be careful. I'll end today's talk on something of a bit of a sad note. Tega of the Boma Tega, BB Niger 2021 scandal. Well, she has taken down her Instagram page. Apparently, people were not giving her any peace because of that thing. She got tired of all the bullying. She couldn't stand it anymore, and she took her Instagram page down. I feel bad for her. But I think that, in life, we're human beings. Every now and then we'll exercise poor judgment. I hope this has been an instructive one for her. And I hope that going forward, she makes better choices. People were outraged, not because infidelity doesn't happen in marriages. People were outraged because she and Boma seemed to be celebrating it, flaunting it, throwing it in people's faces. And that always rubs people the wrong way. No matter how common a moral indiscretion is, people might not, people have different views about it, but the minute it begins to look as if it's being celebrated or being thrown in people's faces, it calls in a lot of judgment, a lot of harsh criticism, and that's one of those things that becomes very difficult for one to live down. Well, I'm hoping that with time this particular breeze will pass and she'll have a life of her own. And the whole point is both she and Boma need to stop talking about it as much as possible. it's a good thing that she took her Instagram account down for now. I would say stay off social media platforms generally for a while. Allow people to forget about it. It's either that or you remain where you are and take it on the chin. Because at the end of the day, nobody only pass. That's the truth.